as you're scaling, you're going through standardizing the processes. What are the top couple things on your leaders list that are constantly running through your brain?
Well, we just had our annual meeting last week, and if you can't
that time of year, right?
Yeah, it's that time of year. We had a good meeting and came out of what I'm not going to call it a reorg, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I don't know when you're going to release this podcast, but the team wouldn't know what in the world I'm talking about if they see this before we announce it. So we're going to be pushing into a little bit more goal oriented towards revenue numbers. That is, for me, what drives this firm. Because of our model, we are a very revenue hungry firm, and we operate pretty lean with respect to the margins. So making sure that I have enough revenue at the end of any measuring period is critical. Putting our group into teams in order to see whether we can bounce some of the compounding, where we have people who are better at the work, people who are better at the revenue, combining those forces. We'll see how that works. So a little bit of a reorg, a little bit of a departure from the way we've done business in the past, but that's on the top of my leaders list, is figuring out. I'm more on the messaging side. I have an integrator who's more on the nuts and bolts side of this. So
perfect. Yeah. So I would imagine, building that marketing and sales engine to be able to continue driving those revenue numbers up will help. And you're well on your way with this great book. So that's really helpful. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that has certainly been something that has generated new opportunities. The book process has been fun. The book process has been worthwhile, and it is neat to see that catching on as a introduction to show some seriousness, quite honestly, in the way that we approach it. So
yeah, I'm sure you thought it was really fun, kind of like pulling your fingernails out while you were writing it. That had to be a blast.
I got better at it. I certainly became a more effective and more efficient writer when I figured out how much I was self-editing, and I just let it go. There were times when I was like, I wish I hadn't started this. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shift into talking about the 95% rule, and just if I'm a business leader and I'm starting to think about how do I'm in the same place you are. I'm building out my leadership team. I've got, a couple hundred employees, and I want to make sure that I'm setting myself up for success. What should be on their leaders list, based on the things that you've seen?
Well, I found, so the 95% rule and the 29 axioms that come out of it, first of all, they provide a great training tool for this, right? So it interjects a lot of employment law knowledge without some pencil neck standing up in front of them with a slide deck going through what the Fair Labor Standards Act says, or what the Family Medical Leave Act says, or why you shouldn't discriminate against somebody. Nobody thinks that stuff applies to them anyway. Their eyes gloss over, and they're looking for thinking of all the work they're missing while they're in the training. So this is a sort of a spoonful of medicine, a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, to help them understand an issue spot for employment law. I think the other thing that it does is it helps provide a standard lexicon, a standard language across the organization. So when all the managers and leadership understand what a 5%er is, and once they start identifying them, that is they don't lack for words in order to communicate more effectively. It helps people understand how employment law fits into the business. And nobody goes to start a business and says, my goal is to have 125 employees. That's not on the list of anybody's goals. The employees are an afterthought towards all of the other considerations, the client service, the product development, all of these. You need the people in order to do it. And I think that causes a lot of problems, and that people think of employment law as an afterthought as well, too. We'll run it like a family. Everything is going to be okay. I'll treat them fairly, and they're going to be good. I don't think you necessarily have to have malevolence among your employee base to have problems, right? So one of the hallmarks of one of the facts of 5%ers is it's not that they are all conniving, villains with respect to it. Some of them are hapless. Their car batteries really do die more than anybody else's. Their pets get sick, their kids get sick, their parents get sick more than anybody else's. The point, though, is if you don't understand that you still have to deal with that, it is not your problem, that it is your problem only in the sense that you have to find a solution for them, you're going to drive yourself crazy, no matter what the size of the community is. So understanding what it is that you can control, understanding what the things you can't control, I think that nowhere is that more important than the employment realm and then the HR realm.